I didn't build it overnight. I didn't rush the ground. I cleared the stones of yesterday, so something real could be found. I chose the soil carefully, let the sunlight through, without knowing if you'd ever come. I planted it for you, a quiet space of honesty, where fragile roots could start, a place I planted slowly inside my heart. I pull the weeds of old mistakes, of promises too fast, of love that bloomed in lightning but never seemed to last. I left room for something steady, for patience to take hold, for hands that wouldn't tremble when the nights grew cold. There's nothing here that's perfect, no flawless line of view, just something built with intention, a place I planted for you. They say love should happen quickly, like sparks across the sky, but I believe in growing under open light. This is a place I planted for you, before you even knew, a space where love moves gently and truth can grow through. This is a place I planted for you, in sunlight and in rain, where nothing feels like pressure and nothing feels like change. There's space between the flowers, room enough to breathe, no need to chase perfection, no fight just to believe. If storms come through this garden, if skies begin to change, the roots are deep enough to hold against the rain. I didn't plan it out of fear or loneliness at night. I planted it because I learned what love should feel like. It's not about possession or building something grand, it's about tending softly with open hand. This is a place I planted for you, not loud, not fast, something meant to grow with time and meant to last. This is a place I planted for you, where honesty remains, where love is chosen daily, through joy and through pain. If you ever step inside it, walk along its ground, you'll feel the quiet effort in every sound. It's not about the blossoms or how bright they seem, it's about the steady care behind the dream. So if you choose to enter, you won't have to pretend, because this place was nurtured with truth from beginning to end. A place I planted for you, before I knew your name, built with patience, built with light, never built on game. to hurry, and everything can grow. No crowded expectation, no pressure to perform, just gentle light at evening, soft and warm. I found myself returning after all the hours, learning how to breathe again among the quiet flowers. They don't compete for sunlight, they don't demand the sky. They rise in silent patience, without asking why. Each petal tells a story of seasons that survive, of storms that passed unnoticed, yet somehow it stayed alive. There's beauty in the stillness, in the way they simply are, not chasing every lightning or distant shining star. Growth doesn't always shout, it doesn't need applause. It happens in the quiet, without a cause. Among the quiet flowers, I learned to slow my pace, to let the world keep spinning without losing grace. Among the quiet flowers, in sunlight and in rain, I found a softer strength, born from pain. No need for perfect symmetry, no flawless design, just roots that hold together when the branches intertwine. I stopped demanding brilliance from every passing day, started noticing the small things that gently stay. The hush between the breezes, the space between each bloom, the calm that settles softly inside the room. Peace isn't love, it doesn't need to prove. It grows in silent corners where hearts can move. Among the quiet flowers, I learned to let things be, to trust the slow unfolding of what's meant for me. Among the quiet flowers, when nothing feels too loud, I found a kind of freedom without a crowd. If you walk beside me through this open land, you'll feel the quiet rhythm of steady hands. It's not about perfection or blooming all at once, it's about remaining rooted long after the storm. So when the world feels restless and everything feels fast, come find me in the stillness where time can pass. Among the quiet flowers, under open skies, where love grows gently and never needs disguise. I used to hide in shade in every view. A roots kept reaching downward, even when unseen. Learning how to gather strength, places in between. I stopped asking for permission to grow the way I feel. Stopped shrinking all my petals to make the world more real. They only notice flowers when they fully bloom. They don't see the quiet work inside the room. I'm blooming under open skies when nothing holds me back. No ceiling made of fear, no invisible crack. I'm blooming under open skies, in sunlight and in rain, growing without apology, beyond the pain. The wind still tries to test me, the rain still sometimes falls, but I no longer fear the shadows on the walls, because growth isn't fragile. It bends but doesn't break. It finds another angle with every step I take. Each scar becomes a pattern, each tear becomes a stream, feeding every hidden root of who I've been. Freedom isn't loud, it's steady and sincere. It's standing in your truth without fear. I'm blooming under open skies, open skies. No rush, no race, no rush, no race. Just honest transformation at my own pace. I'm blooming under open skies, open skies. Nothing left to hide, no left to hide. Light that once felt distant now lives inside. If you walk beside me through this open land, you'll see that growth is patient, guided by gentle hands. It's not about perfection or reaching every height. It's about becoming in your own light. So here I stand in sunlight after every goodbye, stronger than the seasons that once made me shy. Blooming under open skies, free and unconfined. Grow everything I've nurtured, find a light. Come see my garden. It doesn't look like much. No bright neon colors, no dramatic touch. Just quiet rows of patience, growing in the light. Things I planted slowly through the longest nights. Come see my garden, where I learned to stay, where broken parts of me found a different way. I didn't build it overnight. It wasn't always green. There were seasons of doubt when nothing could be seen. I watered it with silence, with lessons I outgrew. Pulled out every fear that I once thought was true. see my garden, where I learned to grow, where love isn't rushed, it moves slow. Come see my garden, in the calm, in the gray, where I stopped chasing storms and chose to stay. There's space between the flowers, room enough to breathe. Nothing here is perfect, but nothing has to leave. No thorns without a reason, no blooms without a scar. Every fragile petal knows exactly who we are. I don't promise roses every single day, but I promise roots that hold when skies turn gray. If you're looking for fireworks, you won't find them here. But if you're looking for something real, come near. Come see my garden, where honesty grows wild, where love isn't loud but reconciled. Come see my garden under open skies, where trust is planted deep but never disguised. It's not about perfection or blooming on a man. It's about tending gently with steady hands. It's about choosing sunlight after every rain and growing something stronger from pain. So come see my garden, not flashy, not grand, just something I nurture with heart and hand. Come see my garden if you're willing to start something that grows slowly inside the heart. In my little garden, nothing grows too fast. No sudden bloom of lightning, no shadows from the past. Just quiet rows of effort under open skies, where I learned to face the truth without disguise. In my little garden, I planted what was real, not borrowed dreams from someone else, but what I truly feel. There were seasons of confusion when the soil felt dry, moments I almost gave up and let the roots just die. But I stayed with the silence, listened to the ground, even when it looked like nothing was growing all around. I pulled out weeds of doubt, cut back fear and pride, left space for something gentler to grow inside. They only see the flowers when they finally rise. They don't see the mornings I stood beneath gray skies. In my little garden, I learned to take it slow. Love doesn't have to hurry to grow. In my little garden, in the calm, in the rain, I found something stronger than the fear of pain. Every root is grounded in a second chance. In my little garden, where honesty remains, I built something lasting from broken remains. If you step inside it, walk beside the trees, you'll feel the gentle rhythm of steady peace. It's not about perfection or blooming every day. It's about staying rooted when winds try to sway. So in my little garden, under quiet skies, I learned that love is patience, not just bright surprise. In my little garden, I finally understood that growing slowly is still good. Don't rush the morning sunlight. Don't force the seeds to show. Some things need quiet patience. Just watch how it grows. It doesn't bloom in thunder, it doesn't shout its name. It rises from the smallest roots through wind and rain. If you stay long enough, if you move slow, you'll see the beauty forming. Watch how it grows. Just soul beneath my hands. No signs of transformation, no visible plans. But underneath the surface, something had begun. Tiny roots were reaching toward the sun. Growth is often hidden before it ever shows. It whispers in the dark before it glows. They only celebrate when flowers finally rise, but they don't see the waiting behind the skies. Just watch how it grows through silence and doubt, through seasons that test what love is about. Just watch how it grows, not perfect, not fast, but steady and certain, built to last. We don't need fireworks or promises too loud. We need steady hands, not an endless crowd. Love is in the tending, in choosing every day, and staying when it's easier to walk away. Every gentle moment, every quiet care becomes another layer of something rare. It's not about intensity or shining overnight. It's about showing up in soft morning light. Just watch how it grows in sunlight and rain, and learning to trust after pain. Just watch how it grows in the calm and the gray, rooted in patience that chooses to stay. If you look too quickly, you might miss the change, the smallest shift in color, Just stay here beside me and watch how it grows. Watch how it grows, quiet and slow. Everything we nurture will eventually show. See the surface, the green against the sky. You don't see the quiet nights. I let the old me die. You don't hear the patience in every careful breath. You don't see the fragile roots that push through doubt. Seeds of honesty, where fear once used to live. Watered them with forgiveness, learning how to forgive. There were no flashing signs, no sudden turning point, just small decisions every day, where healing found its joint. To show this is what I've grown in silence, roots beneath the ground, strength that doesn't need a crowd to make a sound. This is what I've grown in silence, in the calm, in the rain. Something steady, something real, born from pain. Not every bloom's perfect, not every leaf survives, but everything that's standing is proof that I'm alive. I learned to clear the weeds of voices in my head. Learn that sunlight reaches even when hope feels dead. What grows in silence doesn't beg to be seen. It simply keeps on reaching for something clean. Healing isn't loud, it takes its time. It grows between the lines. This is what I've grown in silence. Not rushed, not forced, not built on desperation. A steady core. This is what I've grown in silence, where patience remains. A garden built from lessons, not just perfection or blooming overnight. It's about choosing growth when there's no spotlight. So when you see the flowers reaching toward the sun, remember they were planted when no one else would come. This is what I've grown in silence, without a single sign. And everything you see today was built with time. I found a place in quiet light, far from noise and blame. A little space beneath the sky where the flowers learn my name. No crowds to tell me who to be, no mirrors left to shade. Just open air and steady ground where the flowers learn my name. I planted seeds of honesty in soil I once ignored. Watered them with patience instead of fighting every war. There were days the sun felt distant, days the rain stayed long. But even in the darkest hour, something held on strong. I watched small roots push upward through doubt and hidden fear, learning how to grow again right here. They only see the blooming, they don't see the strength. They don't see the nights I spent standing in the rain. This is where the flowers learn my name, where I stopped running from the pain, where I let the silence hold me without needing to explain. This is where the flowers learn my name, and the calm in the grain, where I found a version of myself that chose to stay. There's no rush in this garden, no pressure to impress, just so becoming in gentle progress. I let the wind move through me without tearing me apart. I let the sunlight reach the corners of my heart. Every scar became a lesson, every fall became a frame of who I was becoming when the flowers learned my name. Healing doesn't shout, it grows in quiet ways, like petals opening slowly over days. This is where the flowers learn my name, not loud, not bright, sound. It's not about perfection or blooming on display. It's about staying rooted when the storms try to slice away. So if you ever lose yourself or feel the weight of pain, come stand with me beneath the sky, where the flowers learn my name, where the flowers learn my name, where I let go of shame, where I finally grew into who I became.